Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and good morning. Please take your seats. Our session will begin shortly. We have a full house today. We ask you to please not hold seats, as every seat will be taken. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to please take your seats. Our session is about to begin. At this time, we would ask you to please take your seats. Our show is about to start. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Our show is about to start. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your final call. Please take your seats. Our show is about to start. Ladies and gentlemen, our show is starting now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Day 2 of NFBPA's Forum 2024. And now, our session dais. Please welcome Justina J. Mann, NFBPA Vice President, and Alan Williams, Senior Advisor, Office of Public Engagement and Intergovernmental Affairs, Office of the Vice President, Washington, D.C. Reverend Brenda White, African Methodist Episcopal Church. Darnell Brown, President, NFBPA Retired Chief Operating Officer, City of Cleveland, Ohio. Phyllis Dickerson, CEO, African American Mayors Association. The Honorable Takesha D. James, Mayor, City of Blandensburg, Maryland. Mark Elrick, County Executive, Montgomery County, Maryland. And Faith Leach, Chief Administrative Officer, City of Baltimore. Andrea Bailey, Prince William County, Virginia Board of Supervisors, Potomac District. Brian Matthew, New York University. B. Fander, Vice President, Government and Education at Cigna. Murtaza Shuaib, Pace University. Dexter Harris, Director, Public Sector Sales and Agency Development at Aflac. Golohan Obeo, Morgan State. Anita Paxton, Vice President, Talent Management at Axis. Anton Gunn, Leading Expert on Socially Conscious Leadership. Virginia Baker, County Administrator, Palm Beach County, Florida, and Chair, NFBPA Awards Committee. Rodney Bryant, National President, National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives. Colonel Jeffrey Glover, Director, Arizona Department of Public Safety. Delane Galloway, President of the Maryland Chapter, NFBPA. And Marcia L. Connor, Executive Director at NFBPA. And now, please welcome to the stage, Justina Mann, Vice President of the National Forum for Black Public Administrators.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. That is just music to my ears. I'm going to have to remember to bring my camera up and so I could take a picture and tell my mother I've made it. I'm up here on the podium talking to my friends, colleagues, as well as family. Welcome to the 2024 Hall of Fame breakfast. My name is Justina Mann. I'm Vice President of the National Forum for Black Public Administrators. We were excited to celebrate our 40th anniversary last year in my home state of Minnesota. And now the countdown, yes, 40th anniversary was awesome last year. And now the countdown is on as we march towards 50 years. As the saying goes, time flies, and we're already making preparations for our organization's Diamond Celebration. I'm excited to serve as presider of this year's Hall of Fame breakfast. I'm thrilled to be in Baltimore once again. As yesterday's speakers mentioned, our hearts and thoughts are indeed with those affected by the recent Francis Scott Key Bridge tragedy. The countless first responders, the workers forging ahead tirelessly to clear the channel, and the many public administrators working behind the scenes to make their work possible all play indelible roles in our communities. It is my pleasure at this time to bring to the stage Reverend Brenda White of Allen AME Church, located here in Baltimore. Reverend White will now come forth to give the invocation and blessings of our food. She will then be followed by the first of our exciting dignitaries today, Mr. Mark Elrich, County Administrator for Montgomery County, Maryland, and Faith Leach, Chief Administrative Officer, City of Baltimore, who will bring greetings. Reverend White.
Most gracious God, we come in this morning hour to give you praise and thanks. We bless your name for the different faith traditions that we bring this morning, honoring you and how you've brought us to this space. We don't take it for granted. Out of all of the ancestors and the elders whose shoulders we stand upon this morning, we don't take it for granted that you have allowed us to be the ancestors for those for future generations. Bless, God, these people who have gathered here from near and far. Bless them in their personal life, in their political life. Keep, God, their administrations, God, centered around the well-being of the people whom they have been called to serve. We pray for their health. We pray, God, for their staff. God, that you be victorious in the plans that you have for their life. Let no one derail them. Let no entity derail the plan that you have for them. And then, God, bless us in the gathering and the partaking of food this morning, that it goes to the nourishment of our bodies and our spirit. And we will forever give you the praise. And we say amen.
I'm going to bring up to the stage next a NFBPA family and friend member, Alan Williams. Alan Williams is the Senior Advisor for the Office of the Vice President. He's in the Office of Public Engagement and Intergovernmental Affairs in Washington, D.C. Alan Williams.
Good morning, NFBPA. Good morning. Oh, you can do better than that. Good morning, NFBPA. Good morning. Good morning to the hospitality room attendees last night. Oh, they not here, okay. I used to be one of those active participants. I did a peekaboo last night so I could be here this morning. As Justina said, my name is Alan Williams, and I'm honored to serve as the Senior Advisor for Public Engagement, Intergovernmental Affairs for the first Black female president of these United States, Kamala D. Harris. And as already been mentioned, our hearts and minds go out and thoughts go out to those impacted by the Francis Scott Key Bridge. As you know, the president and the vice president have publicly stated that the whole of government will be there for the city of Baltimore and the state of Maryland. And when that happened, I knew that it was a tragedy, but I knew because folks in the city, in the county, in the state government were all members of NFBPA, and that they would get the job done and bring Baltimore back even stronger. But this morning, I'm honored to bring greetings on behalf of Vice President Kamala Harris as we gather NFBPA once again to address pressing policy matters critical to the fabric of our nation's future. As we, NFBPA, come together, we know it's not just an opportunity to learn from each other, to get career advice, to understand the ethical decisions that are impacting us at the state and the federal and local level. But it's also a reunion. It's a time to come together, recharge those batteries, and go back out for another year of work. So in recognizing the urgency of our times, we are confronted with the multifaceted challenges that demand our collective attention and decisive action, from safeguarding the fundamental right to vote, to tackling the existential threat of climate change, and from empowering small businesses to foster a culture of entrepreneurship. Our commitment to these policy areas is paramount. The Vice President goes on further to say that the protection of voting rights stands as a cornerstone of our democracy, ensuring that every voice is heard and every vote counts. We must tirelessly advocate for equitable access to the ballot box, safeguarding a fundamental pillar of our society. And so as you convene today, let us reaffirm the commitment to advancing these critical policy areas through collaboration, innovation, and unwavering dedication. We can chart a course toward a more just, sustainable, and prosperous future for all in these United States. So thank you for your leadership, your dedication, and your partnership in this noble endeavor. Kamala Harris, Vice President, United States. And I'll just close with this. I started coming to NFBPA almost 21 years ago. I was working for John Marks, who was the mayor of Tallahassee. He came back from his first trip as mayor to NFBPA with this notebook full of stuff and ideas. And he said, we're going to do this, we're going to implement this. I learned this at NFBPA. And so for a minute, the staff said, you're not going on any more trips. But then I said, well, I need to come with you. And little did I know that going with him in 2004 to Philadelphia, that I would get to meet leaders in this organization. One of my mentors, Anita Favors Thompson, who was a past president, ensured that we came. And then I got to know folks like Harry Jones, who was my guy, and it was everybody's guy in this organization. And that's why it's so critically important that we have leaders continuing in that vein, like our president, Darnell Brown, who somehow has retired, but still is giving of himself to this great organization. And that just retired in the federal tax code system way. I think he's still working somewhere, but he's still giving and leaning in to the next generation of public administrators. And obviously Marsha Connor for the work that she's doing as our executive director. And so, again, it's been 21 good years. I've gone to many, many conferences. There's no conference like NFBPA Forum, and I would encourage you to get all of your colleagues back home to come here. Let's make NFBPA strong again. And you are in for a treat today when you hear the speaker, a good friend of mine and a great Kappa man, and I'll just leave it there. God bless you.
Thank you, Reverend Dr. Alan Williams. At this time, I would love to bring forward Mr. Mark Elrich. He is the County Administrator for Montgomery County, Maryland.
Thank you all very much. I have to say, I never understood the fraternity thing. When I was at the University of Maryland, there was no way I was going into the fraternities. So it's a very different experience. First, I want to say, I think all of us are acknowledging the tragedy in Baltimore with the bridge collapse, and I really want to thank the ability of the city to mobilize as quickly as they mobilized to deal with that. It was notable, and I think Brandon Scott's done a really great job as mayor, and I think and you can take that as an endorsement if you're anybody here from Baltimore. I want to thank NFBPA for coming back to Baltimore after a long absence in your 40-year history. I think this has been 30 years maybe since you were here before. I want to congratulate Darnell Brown, who's going to be doing more things, and I want to thank Stacey Rogers, congratulate her on being the rising president. And I had a chance to talk with her a little bit. Your theme about excellence in service and strength in leadership reflects what NFBPA has been about and is focused on for 40 years. I'll talk to you a little bit about Montgomery County and who we are. We have a black population of about 19%. Our total minority population is about 57%. In 1970, Montgomery County was 95% white, 4.5% black, and 0.5% everybody else. So we have undergone pretty dramatic changes. 27% of county employees are black, but 21% of our employees hold management positions of our black employees. And I have 11 department directors who are black, and the examples are the police chief, the IT management, budget, health and human services, human resources. So we make sure we have made our county the leadership of our county look as much as like the residents of our county. It's important that people in our community see people who look like them in leadership positions in the county, and we've been determined to do that. Montgomery County, as you know, is located next to D.C. It's Maryland's most populous county. We're the most diverse county. We have 4 of the most diverse counties in the country are in Montgomery County, and we're actually proud of that. And when I go overseas and talk to people about why they should come to Montgomery County, we talk about the diversity there. It is something that people take note of. People know the work we do, and they want to be in a place where they feel safe and where they feel welcome. Montgomery County is the 3rd largest biotech hub in the United States, and we intend to grow. We're implementing a bus rapid transit program that's to be about 100 miles of bus rapid transit lanes. We've initiated the most aggressive climate action plan in the country. An 80% reduction by 2027 and 100% reduction by 2035, and we're moving along our path to get us there. Montgomery County did a laptop giveaway to households who needed support of 100,000 laptops over the last year or so. We know the importance of being digitally connected, and if a kid can't go home and do his homework like everybody else is going home and doing their homework, they're at a serious disadvantage, and we took steps to make sure we address that. And during the pandemic, coming out of it, we've changed our public health model. We've gone for a model that focused on diseases, diabetes, heart attacks, and we're going to a public health model which focuses on the community and the social determinants of health and what you need to do to address the social determinants so you can change people's outcomes. This isn't just a disease model. You have to treat the conditions that give rise, and we know, frankly, that racism has had a serious impact on people's health. I always tell people, I've never had to think about what it's like to be white in a room, and I can only imagine what it's like to be black and have to think all the time, what do people think of me because I'm black? And I try to give that message to my employees because people have got to understand the stress and the difference of people's different circumstances in American society. And if you don't get that, you don't understand the problems we face. So this has been important to me. I want to say 45% of our businesses are local, and which is amazing. And that we've, aside from all the big people who are there, we also You have a minimum wage that's going to be $17. I got 2 minimum wage bills passed when I was on the county council. So we'll be up to 17. There's lots of good things. I know I'm going to exceed my time. I probably have exceeded my time. But I just wanted to let you know, Montgomery County's here. Montgomery County welcomes you. If you ever want to do a conference in Montgomery County, please visit us. But thank you all for being here. Thank folks from my team who are over there at the table. Thank you for being here. And have a great conference. Thank you.
Good morning again. At this time, I'm going to bring up to the podium Faith Leach, who is the Chief Administrative Officer for the City of Baltimore.
All right, good morning, NFBPA. My name is Faith Leach, and I serve as the Chief Administrative Officer of Baltimore, Maryland. I want to welcome you back to Charm City after more than 30 years. This conference, this moment, it means so much to me. It means so much to our mayor, and it means so much to our entire city. 17 years ago, I went to my first NFBPA forum while I was working for the late Harry Jones. Now, 17 years later, I stand before mentors, colleagues, and friends as the first woman Chief Administrative Officer of Baltimore City, Maryland. You see, it was NFBPA that poured into me as an emerging leader. It was also NFBPA that prepared me to lead alongside our mayor during last week's crisis when the Key Bridge collapsed, causing the loss of 6 lives, unimaginable trauma for survivors and families of the victims, millions in economic devastation for small businesses and port workers, and disruption to the global supply chain. But as our mayor said, we are built with Baltimore grit, and we will forever be Baltimore strong. That's why this week's forum means so much to the city of Baltimore. We needed this moment. We needed the love that only NFBPA can bring. We needed a little bit of Black joy in our city. So, in Baltimore, we're family. So y'all are at home. I want you to feel like it. I want y'all to know that you are at home. Our home is your home. Our city is your city. So enjoy your time in the city of Baltimore. Spend a little extra money while you can. We have lots of shops and stores that you can walk to right here next to the hotel. And also stop by our booth because Baltimore is hiring. And enjoy why they call us Charm City. Thank you so much and welcome to Baltimore.
Thank you all. We are, of course, elated to be back in Baltimore, in the Baltimore area. I know it's been 30 years. I think I've heard that a few times. It's going to help me remember the timing. If you're an NFBPA member, and first of all, shout out to all the newcomers. All the newcomers in the audience, please raise your hand. All right. You guys are already on track to be lifers for NFBPA, because once NFBPA, always NFBPA. And I'm also excited at the number of first-timers' hands, which means it shows me you have balance, because I'm sure you were part of the host chapter event last night, and you're still here, so thank you for that. All right, as a brief reminder, I'm going to ask all of you to please silence your cell phones and other electronic equipment during today's program. So I'll give you about 10 seconds to do that. We want to offer at this time our full and undivided attention to Cigna, one of Forum's 2024 presenting sponsors. Here to bring remarks is Bea Fander, Cigna's Vice President of Government and Education. In her role, Bea is responsible for the growth in Cigna's government and education segments of the company. She serves as the market government lead and works in conjunction with local market sales leadership to develop and drive government and education prospect sales and retention strategy. B, please come forward to share a bit about Cigna and then present the prestigious Ulysses G. Ford Scholarship.
Good morning. Morning. I am so happy to be here on Friday morning. Thanks for having us, and I am very excited to be representing Cigna this morning. My name is Bea Fander. I'm Vice President of Government and Education. Baltimore is my home, so I am excited to have everybody here. Only want to just second, third, the commentary around the Key Bridge and how sorry we all are that we face such devastation. This is my first NFBPA conference. I've worked with NFBPA through the years, doing activities and dinners, but this is my first forum, and I have to tell you that yesterday was so very inspiring. I heard and met people that really made such an impression on me, and heard about where they came from, but more importantly, where they're going. So excited to be part of it, and it's my first, but will not be my last. In that vein, this morning, I met Brian Matthews. Brian is our scholarship recipient this morning. He is a very impressive young man, and we'll have him come forward in just a few minutes so that he can make a little speech about himself. But to tell you about Brian, he is currently a Master's of Public Administration in Public and Nonprofit Management. He's a student at NYU Wagner with a specialization in public policy analysis. He holds a GPA of 3.79. Go, Brian. Brian serves as Vice Chair of the Black Student Association and staff writer for the Wagner Review. He is a proud first-generation college student, as am I, and as are, I'm sure, many people in the room. Brian has a passion for public service and serves as food pantry lead at Radiant Church. The monthly food pantry there serves between 300 and 400 families each month. When he saw the economic effects of COVID-19, Brian was prompted to join AmeriCorps Vista, which is Volunteers in Service to America, where he served at the Puerto Rican Action Board. Within his role as community service and volunteer coordinator, Brian focused on leading his AmeriCorps team, developing and strengthening relationships with various stakeholders, and he spearheaded community projects. He also developed strategies for volunteer recruitment and retention during the pandemic. It was through his AmeriCorps service team that he decided he wanted to pursue a Master of Public Administration and acquire the skills to become a leader for his community and for the world. He's from New Jersey. We're hoping to get him to come here to Baltimore. His journey toward becoming a public servant is deeply rooted in his personal experiences and a commitment to addressing pressing societal issues. Sadly, during the finals of his last semester, he experienced a devastating and traumatic loss of a childhood friend of more than 20 years through gun violence. This has ignited his passion for advocating for gun violence prevention that will address mass shootings and foster a safer environment. And Brian, I know I speak for everyone when we offer our condolences. Brian's current career goal is to pursue a role in public policy and to be in a position of power where he can create long-lasting change across the world. Please join me in congratulating Brian Matthew on his award of the $5,000 scholarship.
Well, I look good. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I am deeply honored and grateful to have been selected as this year's recipient for the Ulysses G. Ford III Scholarship recipient with NFBPA, and this is my first conference. This scholarship represents not only financial support, but my academic achievement and leadership related to public service. There are so many people I would like to thank in this speech. The organizers of this conference and the selection committee for their confidence in me and selected me for this award.
for my sponsor, Cigna, for their generous support in funding this scholarship. Words cannot express how grateful I am. To the faculty and staff at NYU Wagner Graduate School of Public Service, thank you for your guidance, expertise, support. You have played a pivotal role in my academic journey. To my peers at Wagner and NYU overall, thank you for being welcoming and being my community. I am proud to be the first person at NYU to receive this award, and I can't wait to bring this back home. To my loving family, your love and support has been one of my strengths and motivations. To my friends, the loved ones, thank you for cheering me on, praying for me, and just believing in me and cheering my dreams. And now I want to honor a few mentors who played a role in my life. Lachelle Cross, Dr. Robert Shaner, who wrote my letters of recommendation. And unfortunately, they also passed away last year. My mentor, Larry Lester, may God rest his soul. He's been gone 5 years now. And thank you for just giving me the tools to realize to never give up and continue to chase my dreams. And I want to leave you with this quote from Gandhi: the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. The work of public service never stops. Let's continue to make a change in this world together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, B, and congratulations to Brian Matthew. We're expecting big things from you, and we look forward to hearing about your next endeavors. At this time, please help me welcome the Honorable Takesha D. James, Mayor of Bladensburg, Maryland, to bring greetings. Following her will be the presentation of the 2024 Access Scholarship. Takesha, Mayor James.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, that was weak. We're family, right? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's my first time. I'm a little nervous, so I need you to make me feel welcome today. But I'm getting old, so let me put on my readers. All right, here we go. I first want to just thank the NFBPA Executive Director, Connor, the Board of Directors, and Exec Committee. Thank you for the opportunity to be here, as well as my good friend, Delane Galloway, who's the president of your Maryland chapter. Can we give them a round of applause? So I'm going to treat this like church since we're family, and I want to give you the church announcements. And these are the announcements for today. I need to let you know, as public administrators, how valuable each and every one of you are to the work that we do on the levels of government, or if you're serving your community on the nonprofit level. A lot of times people give the accolades and recognition and gratitude to the mayors or commissioners or county executives, but at the end of the day, the folks sitting here in every single seat today and our award recipient who are just honored, you are the boots on the grounds that are moving our communities forward. And for what we've had to come through with this COVID pandemic, I hope each and every one of you really understand and take a moment to acknowledge how important and valuable you are to the towns, the cities, and communities across this nation. We are because you are. And I am here to celebrate you, to say thank you, to welcome you to our beautiful state of Maryland, and to really just encourage you to take advantage of the opportunity that you have here. Everyone here is open to sharing ideas, fostering, networking, huge opportunities. And I know from my own town administrator, Ms. Michelle Bailey Hedgepeth, these relationships don't just end after a session. What happens here carries back to your respective communities and helps you to be better, to do better, and serve better. So again, I just want to welcome you to Maryland. I want to honor you for your dedication and thank you for all the work you do, because you do not get thanked enough for the incredible impact that you have in communities across this country. So with that, thank you, God bless you, and enjoy the rest of your conference.
I think of Access, the one word that comes to mind is excellence,
It's success.
Innovation.
because we're raising the bar every day. I started Access because I felt home health agencies could improve patient outcomes by having better technology solutions that help streamline their operations and grow their business. We all know this. People prefer to be treated in their home. It's a better quality of life, it's less expensive, and at Access, we're committed to helping revolutionize this aspect of care.
What makes Access special is our fundamental desire to improve people's lives. It's why we exist.
We all know that home health is only going to become more important, and at Access, we're committed to leading the way.
Access, empowering care anytime, anywhere.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, wow, I wasn't expecting that. You were chewing, so I figured, you'd keep chewing, so I could say good morning, y'all. I'm coming from Texas, all right? I'm Anita Paxton, Vice President of Talent Management at Access, a Dallas-based company providing technology to make lives better for home health care providers around the world. I am Anita Paxton. Well, I thought I was very audible, but I'm Anita Paxton, Vice President of Talent Management with Access. And yes, that was my CEO, John Olajide. I have the privilege to work with, under the leadership of a Nigerian CEO, a CFO, and a CTO. As we talk about excellence in service and strength in leadership, I have the opportunity the pleasure to present Bolahan Abeoye, who is the recipient of our scholarship at Access. Bola, as we call Bola, he let me have that pleasure of calling him Bola, is a senior at Morgan State University. I was gonna say, give it up, because he's right here in your hometown, right? So he's pursuing a double major and a degree in computer science and cloud computing with a 3.9 GPA. Now, if you thought that was great, keep listening. So while speaking with Bola, he shared a couple of beliefs that he had that's top of mind for him. One is helping others, and the other one is conquering your fears. And because of that, he had a fear of blood. And so to lean into helping others and conquering his fears, he is also getting a degree in nursing. Bola is one of 4 students from Morgan State selected to participate in the University Innovation Fellows Program, which is run by Stanford in partnership with the Netherlands. This program empowers students, leaders from around the world to address global challenges and develop leadership skills, serving as advocates for lasting institutional change. What's so unique about this program? He's one of 261 students from 68 universities around 15 different countries. So that's pretty impressive. He amplifies a commitment to service and social responsibility through his involvement with the Society for Advancement of Computing and Women in Computer Science, as well as serving as a peer mentor on campus. This summer, Bola will be starting an internship with Battelle focused on data science. In just a little bit, when he's not doing all those great things, he's really being the fun uncle, hanging out with family and his nieces and nephews. Really, he has a great love of family. So Access is particularly pleased to award Bola this scholarship because we need more smart people like Bola, software engineers with the knowledge and skills necessary to drive advancements that will benefit us all. It's also why we have created scholarship programs for students at as Dr. Jameson would say, the University of Texas at Dallas, Johnson School of Engineering and Computer Science. So we're honored to have the opportunity to also support BOLA with a $5,000 scholarship as part of our commitments to students earning higher education degrees in those areas. Please welcome Bola Adebayo.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, my name is Bola Adebayo. I'm a student at Morgan State University. I'm a computer science senior. Go Bears, thank you. First and foremost, I want to thank God. And next, I want to thank Access, my sponsor. I want to thank Ms. Anita Paxton, the Vice President of Talent Management at Access, for their generosity and their belief in my potential. I'm also deeply honored and incredibly grateful to be accepting this scholarship. This recognition means the world to me, and I am humbled to be selected among such talented individuals. I would like to also extend my gratitude to the selection committee for recognizing my dedication and my potential. I also want to thank the NFBPA and all the sponsors today for their unwavering support and their encouragement. This scholarship will not only alleviate the financial burden of college, it will also empower me to pursue my dreams with renowned determination. I just want to say, with the support of Access and my sponsors and my loved ones, I hope to continue working towards doing great things in innovation and technology. So once again, I am truly honored and privileged to be a recipient of this award, and I just want to thank everybody today for being here. Thank you so much.
Before I introduce this morning's speaker, let's give our first two scholarship recipients another big round of applause. We are all very proud of you, and we are expecting big things and wish the best for you. Now, my script says we are going to be serving food now, but I'm pleased to see that it has already been served, so shout out to the kitchen. It is my honor at this time, truly an honor, to introduce Attorney Benjamin Lloyd Crump. Attorney Crump, yes, absolutely. Attorney Crump specializes in civil rights and catastrophic personal injury cases, such as wrongful death lawsuits. His practice has focused on cases such as those of Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, Keenan Anderson, Randy Cox, and Tyree Nichols, people affected by the Flint Rider crisis, the estate of Henrietta Lacks, and the plaintiffs behind the 2019 Johnson & Johnson baby powder lawsuit alleging the company's talcum powder product led to ovarian cancer diagnosis. Crump is also founder of the firm Ben Crump Law of Tallahassee, Florida. Absolutely. One of Attorney Crump's quotes that so inspires me personally is, "An act of violence against any innocent person eludes moral justification, disgraces the millions of Americans and people from throughout the world who have united in peaceful protest against police brutality, and dishonors our proud inheritance of the nonviolent resistance." And what an inheritance we have as people have. NFBPA, please stand and welcome back Black America, please excuse me, Black America's Attorney General, Benjamin L. Crump.
Thank you, Justina. Good morning, National Forum for Black Public Administrators. I'm coming in hot because I just got off a plane and we landed wheels down at 8:15 and came straight here to be with you all. And so I'm that tells you how excited I am to get to you this morning and make the case. Before I begin to make my arguments, I at least want to acknowledge your great leadership at the National Forum of Black Public Administrators with President Brown, your immediate past President Richardson, and your President-elect, Baltimore's own Stacey Rogers. Great leadership. And I got to interact with them earlier this year in New York, where you had an incredible meeting with the African presidents who came to America, and you all had the vision to visit with them and converse with them about their evolving and thriving economies and on the motherland, and how they could do business with your cities and it could be a mutual benefit to one another. So I want to applaud the Black Forum for having that type of vision. That's what it's going to take now to give equal opportunity to every part of your city. And I make the case this morning, and Attorney Greg Cade will join me in a minute. I know I have about 15 minutes to really make the case, brothers and sisters, because now more than ever, we need the National Forum of Black Public Administrators to use their voice and engage and have the courage to engage in strategic defiance to this unprecedented attack on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now more than ever, we have to speak truth to power. I mean, before, we had this implicit bias, we had years in the past subtle racism, but now we're seeing an overt racist attack. I mean, they feel emboldened to attack diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so we have to be emboldened too. I mean, we have to speak truth to power every time we get an opportunity. I don't care what room we at, we have to speak truth to power, because they have to know that we will defy the racism, we will defy the oppression, we will defy the discrimination. When we think about things, and I never thought it, Jonathan Allen, in 2024, that we would be debating whether diversity was a good thing or not in America. I mean, it's mind-boggling. I mean, they are firing people in states like Florida and Texas and Alabama and Virginia, and I know, they say, well, it's just the South. I think about what Malcolm X said. Malcolm X said, I've been told they discriminate against black people in the South. Malcolm X said, well, his definition of the South is anything beneath the Canadian border, because last time he checked, they discriminated against black people all over America. And so that's why I'm saying, National Forum, we got to have you speak on these issues, and you can't be timid about it. You gotta be convicted about it. Yeah. Reverend Jesse Jackson said something I always thought was profound, talking about this diversity, equity, and inclusion. Reverend Jackson said, before Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier and integrated Major League Baseball, the argument was, if we let blacks and Hispanics play Major League Baseball, that it would bring down the quality of the game. Well, Reverend Jackson said the truth of the matter was, We did not know how good baseball could be until we let everybody play the game. And so that's where we got to keep arguing, that we don't know how good our cities, our corporations, our institutions can really be until we have everybody at the table. I mean, it's a simple, logical argument. And so we have to continue to fight when they attack our black literature. I mean, again, Alan Williams, I never would have thought in America in 2024 that we would be engaging in censorship. I mean, that's the same thing we accuse communist China and Russia of. But in states like Florida and Tennessee and Virginia and Texas, they are literally banning black books in the high schools. I mean, they're banning Maya Angelou, I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings. They're banning James Baldwin's Go Tell It on the Mountain. They're banning Alice Walker's Color Purple. And I know I'm speaking to the choir this morning, but we all better go tell it on the mountain. I mean, it's real, y'all. It's very real. And then they're attacking black history. It's talking about you can't teach advanced placement African American history in high schools. It's so troubling on so many levels. I mean, Governor of Florida had the audacity to say that advanced placement African American history had little to no value to offer students. I mean, then, brothers and sisters, he went further to say that when you get to the history class, to the section when they talk about slavery, he said that we must teach in the middle school to high school, made it a mandate, that slavery had positive benefits for enslaved people. Now, can you imagine the psychological trauma that's going to have on our children from 7th grade all the way to graduation, to be told every year when you get to the part on slavery for the other white children and the teachers to be able to say, oh no, slavery wasn't bad for you, it was good for your grandmama and your granddaddy. Can you just imagine the psychological trauma, brothers and sisters? And that's why we have to speak truth to power. We have to, more than ever, push back. We have to be defiant in this. I just think about, as I try to make way to show you a brief video, this is heavy on my heart. Those who don't intend to teach history intend on repeating history. And it's about controlling our thinking, y'all. They're trying to make our children feel inferior and insignificant. It's not enough to remove the shackles off our wrists and the shackles off our ankles. We have to remove the shackles off our people's minds and make sure they know that we are the best aspects that help build America. I mean, we built this country for free, and they have to acknowledge that. And they have to acknowledge all the great black icons that made America great. The Fannie Lou Hamers, the Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolm X's, the Rosa Parks. I mean, they were not the mere footnotes of American history. They were the heroes in American history. I'm gonna get off the stage. I want to show this brief video because I know we get to talk to some of you all at a luncheon about fighting implicit bias on every level. It's not enough to fight just against police brutality, but we have to fight to make sure our infrastructure and our communities are set. So if you play this video, I will then rest my case.
A new study finds that nearly half of the nation's drinking water contains potentially harmful forever chemicals. The substances have been linked to several serious health problems, including some cancers.
PFAS, or forever chemicals, are man-made substances that date back to the 1940s. They gained mass attention for their ability to repel water, oil, and stains. And over the decades, they've been used in a wide range of applications, for non-stick cookware and waterproof fabrics, to food packaging, cosmetics, even firefighting foams. But over time, concerns began to rise. According to the CDC, the chemicals do not break down in the environment. They can move through soils, contaminate drinking water, and build up in fish and wildlife.
3M and DuPont already knew that these chemicals accumulated in humans and animals, that they didn't degrade in the environment, and that they could increase the size of the liver in rats, rabbits, and dogs.
Themselves exposed enough to this particular chemical to develop cancers like, prostate cancer and, kidney cancer and testicular cancer, pancreatic cancer, cancers that are clearly linked to PFAS-related chemical study, at least what the studies say.
And across the country, our analysis finding at least 143 million Americans are potentially using tap water from water systems with PFAS contamination. These contamination sites often more likely to be in zip codes that are poorer and more racially diverse than the national average. 80% of contamination spots in North Carolina have median incomes below the national average, and 42% had a higher population of non-white residents.
Because of recent EPA regulations, city leaders will have no choice but to invest millions of precious public dollars to secure their safe water supply, a financial burden that should be borne by the polluters that created the problem in the first place, rather than the taxpaying citizens. But because of this new law and because it is safe, we must do it. Because this is about our families, about our parents, about our spouses, about our children. This is about our whole community. So we must act now.
We should not have to live this way. And it's all because of them and what they done.
Thank you, and I will tell you that Greg will say just a minute about this historic settlement with the PFAS polluters, the corporations that, based on his leadership, he's one of the leading lawyers. He's a bad brother. He picked me up on one of his jets this morning to make sure I was here on time. But they've settled for a historic multi-billion-dollar settlement with all these chemical corporations to clean up the cities. And now with the EPA passing the new legislation that you must get the forever chemicals out of your water supply, we don't want you to be passing that burden on to your taxpaying citizens. We want you to allow us to help you get the money from the polluters so you can make them bear that expense and you can look like a hero in your communities. So give it up for Attorney Greg Kaye, a great trial lawyer who I'm proud to consider my partner on these cases.
It's always hard to talk behind Ben Crump. I said that last year, I always said. But no, he's right. We just got done with a significant first round resolution with DuPont, 3M, those type companies that essentially contaminated all our water supply. So, you know, I see everybody here just regularly drinking your water. Stop drinking your water, okay? It's bad, all right? You heard me talk about all these different cancers and whatnot. This stuff will, you know, it's bad. So, but we'll have a one-on-one discussion with you later on if you meet in a session we're going to have later on here just to talk about what's going on. But that's all I have to say. But like I said, we appreciate you guys allowing us to come here. Every city and county, if you got anything to do with water, your water system, you need to talk to us at some point today, okay? Thank you. All right.
I think your water is safe for this morning. Thank you all. Continue to speak truth to power. Now more than ever, National Forum, Black Public Administrators, we need your voice for those who would never have a voice in those rooms. Thank you.
Now, that was just an appetizer. So make sure that if you're available and you have it on your calendar to attend the 11 o'clock session to hear more from Greg Cave and how they can help you in your cities with this crisis that they've spoken about. At this time, I will introduce to the stage Marsha Connor, our Executive Director, the lady in pink.
I hope that you've enjoyed your breakfast this morning. We still have the second half, the act to follow. But I wanted to take this moment to acknowledge this has been a tough year for many of us on the board of directors and as members, as we have lost several dear members of NFBPA. We're going to highlight 3 of them today, but there have been so many more. And as we embark upon this memorial segment, it's really with heavy hearts and profound gratitude that we remember these 3 remarkable individuals: Bruce Moore, Michelle Marty Turpo, and William Bill Godfrey. As we honor their memory of these 3 extraordinary individuals, let us take a moment to reflect on the impact their contributions have made and their legacy they have left behind. Maybe their examples inspire us to carry out the work that we do with passion, integrity, and unwavering dedication. I do want to take a moment, if she's here, Karen Michelle Snell, who was the partner of Marty Turpo, is here today. And it was a brave step to come forward to continue the legacy and his work. And we just wanted to acknowledge her if she's in the room. I know that she's been here for the last 2 days. She was at the NCC reception. And I know that this morning she was going to leave, but I think she's there. So let's give her a warm welcome, NFBPA welcome. And to let her know that she will forever be a part of the NFBPA family. At this time, there are 3 individuals who will come and talk about these remarkable folks. And I just take a moment and listen.
Good morning. I'm Phyllis Dickerson, the CEO of the African American Mayors Association, but I served as Chief of Staff for the City of Little Rock for 14 years. Today, I'm here to honor Bruce T. Moore, who served over 35 years in municipal government for the City of Little Rock. Bruce actually started off as an intern, and in 1999, he became the Assistant City Manager and was he actually hired my mother, who was retired, to be his assistant because she was actually more qualified for the job than him. So in 2002, he became the city manager. And after 21 years of service, he was the longest servicing city manager for the City of Little Rock. When I first started at City Hall, Bruce was more like my little brother as opposed to being my boss. After I became the mayor's chief of staff, we fought every day, just like siblings. We all have our funny Bruce stories because Bruce was extremely OCD. The first board meeting he went to as the president of NFPPA, they put the wrong initial in his name. So they put Bruce M. Moore, and I thought, oh my God, the day has already started off wrong. I even remember the day that Snipes and Rashad Young came to me to find Bruce, because unfortunately he got lost in Dallas. And Bruce, you could never change the script at the last minute, because if you did, he refused to read it. Bruce didn't like anything stapled, and if the margins weren't justified, he couldn't read it. Bruce wanted everyone to celebrate his birthday, and I do mean everyone. So Bruce actually passed away 3 days after his 57th birthday. He made every City of Little Rock employee, when they attended forum, to eat lunch together, and he would always get mad when I refused to. Bruce and I shared all our significant events together: his wedding, the birth of his son Luke, the swearing in of him becoming president of NFBPA, both of us serving on the board of NFBPA, Luke's basketball career as the point guard for Little Rock Central High, which was actually my alum, and I reminded Bruce of that constantly. We planned 2 NFBPA forums together in Little Rock. We planned the 2008 conclave of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. And we shared our love for Crimson and Cream. And we ended that legacy when Bruce passed away, to end our tradition of fighting and making up, when he passed away on October the 14th of last year at the age of 57. And I came home to plan his homegoing service. There are a few things that Bruce loved as much as he loved his son, Bruce Moore, but they were NFBPA, ICMA, Kappa Alpha Psi, playing spades, talking about Little Rock, sports, and politics. And so when we pulled Bruce's will, there was one paragraph that always stood out to me, which made me know how much he loved municipal government. And it said, if anything happens to me while I'm the city manager, I would like for as many city employees to come to the service as would like to. I would like for Nikki Parrish to sing Wind Beneath My Wings, and I would like pictures of me and Luke playing on the screen doing it. And so today, we cherish the memory and the legacy of Bruce T. Moore, not only my former boss, my former peer, but more and importantly, my little brother.
Good morning. I am Todd Mason, past NCC chair. And Marty Michelle Turpo, if you don't mind, I just want to have a conversation with Marty real quick. If you know Marty, Marty has energy. Marty has wit. I have never met anybody, Marty, that had more one-liners for every situation. And Marty has impacted not only the folks in this room, but my life. And anyone that knows me knows I never wear dress shoes, ever, ever, ever. So today, Marty, I put on wingtips. I still did LA, I have no socks on. And you are still impacting the decisions I make every day. And I didn't get a chance to share this with you. Marty was an alpha, is an alpha, and I'm a Kappa. And Marty used to remind me constantly, the beginning starts with one. And and only God can do this. Marty's celebration was on January 5th. That's our Founders Day. And on our Founders Day, I spent it celebrating Marty Michelle Turpo. And only God can have that type of humor. I love that brother. I loved everything about him. It took me a while, Marcia, to adapt to Marty. And I just want to leave something that Marty instilled in me with everybody in this room before I run out of time. Now. And I'm going to give you an acrostic. No opportunities wasted. Now. Right now. And if you know Marty, and if you don't know Marty, every single second was an opportunity to do something different. Right? He was not status quo, and he believed every opportunity was an opportunity if you took advantage of it now. Karen, I absolutely love you because I love how you loved him. And I am very, very grateful for his presence in my life. And we all have those people that they come, seasons, reasons. Marty came with a purpose. And I'm deeply indebted. And if you really, really know me, having these dress shoes on is very painful. But I know that he is looking down and saying, see, I'm still running you. So God bless you all. If you don't take anything else from this, remember now. Don't waste a single second. Don't waste a moment. Be happy, 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 happy. Laugh, be joyful, and it ain't bad. It's always good, and you need to find that opportunity is another opportunity to do something different. God bless you all.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Richard Snyder, and I am a dear friend of Mr. William Rufus Godfrey. Unfortunately, Bill returned home back on March 11th with a first-class ticket. And prior to that, just days before, we had many discussions about this upcoming event and planning. He passed away at the young age of 76. He had a deep passion for public service. He was, again, a dear friend, mentor of mine and colleague. And he served the city of Atlanta, Fulton County, and he spent some time as a special advisor under President Clinton. And during that time, he created a consulting practice, and he felt his need was more on a national level where he could help many of the local communities as a risk management officer and with benefits and retirement. So that's where I got to know Bill, and I've been a friend for 23 years. Deeply miss him. He was very much a strong supporter of NFBPA. And I reached out to his family last night, and I'll read a text message that they passed along to me this morning. And it says, please let the NFBPA know that the family greatly appreciates the tribute and that he was really proud of the work he did with NFBPA. Also, you can pass along that his company plans to continue to be involved with NFBPA and the HBCUs. Those were his two passions in life, both organizations. And I'll just share with you a quick story about Bill. Bill was a gentleman. And that term's not tossed around too often these days, but he truly was. He was loved by he loved people, and he was a quiet man, soft-spoken, but had the gift of gab. And he would talk to anybody about anything, and that was his strength, building relationships. This would have been his 40th celebration with NFBPA, so he missed it by 1 year. He wasn't a founding father, but he came in year 2. And this picture up here of Bill and on your screen is from last year's event. This speaks volumes to me. This was Bill. He always had a smile on his face. Again, very soft-spoken man, but loved to gab. And I'll just leave you with this. Bill and I worked across the country for 23 years trying to build relationships and sell business together and so forth. And I always asked him, how do you get these meetings with these decision makers at these various cities and counties and towns? And he always would say, they're a fraternity brother. And I was like, one night at dinner, we had a few pops, and I said, hey, Bill, how big is this fraternity? Because we were going from California to Arizona to Chicago to Texas to New York, and he knew everybody. And I later realized it was the fraternity he built here with NFBPA. That's how he knew the people. And so I know you're not drinking water right now, but if you would raise your glass, cheers to a life well played, Bill. Rest in peace, William Rufus Godfrey. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Tiffany Williams Brewer, and I was asked to come this morning to share a song of tribute to these three great individuals. I'll take a moment of personal privilege to say I've been a part of this organization in the past, and the legacy that we're even celebrating through their lives is something that I have benefited from in my career as well, that has led me to become a judge in New Jersey. I'm a professor at Howard Law School right now, but also I had served 2 governors and a speaker of an assembly in New Jersey, and even became the first African American recently to chair the New Jersey State Commission of Investigation. And this organization sewed into me, so I'm honored to be here today. I hope you find inspiration in this song and strength. I will lift up mine eyes to the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He said, he will not suffer thy foot to be moved. The Lord which keepeth thee, he will not slumber nor sleep. No, the Lord is thy keeper, the Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand, upon thy right hand. No, the sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. He shall preserve thy soul, even forevermore. My help, my help, my help. All of my help cometh from the Lord. I will lift up mine eyes to the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He said, he will not suffer thy foot to be moved. The Lord which keeps
keepeth thee. He will not slumber nor sleep. Oh, the Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand, upon thy right hand. No, the sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. He shall preserve thy soul, even forevermore. My help, my help, my help. All of my help cometh from the Lord. God bless you.
That was a very beautiful song. Let me say thank you, Karen, again, for being here. Thank you, Phyllis. Thank you, Todd. And thank you, Richard, for sharing that. Virginia, I'm going to introduce her next, but we were talking about it in the green room, and we said, I don't know, how am I supposed to come up after? She was fussing about, how am I supposed to come up after we talk about Bruce, who's my co-chair and all this? And I went to the services and spoke on behalf of NFBPA at Bruce's services, and I was at Marty's services, and which is the last time I saw Bill. So really, it's me. So I'm going to go ahead and absorb all of that and get myself together for our audience. I think it's important that we remember once NFBPA, always NFBPA. So thank you all for being here, for contributing, and then having the opportunity to carry on the legacy that those wonderful gentlemen have spoke. Marcus Jones, who is our treasurer of the organization, when Bill Godfrey passed, he called me directly. These type of messages we don't have over the text, and he said, "That's it, Justina. I'm calling stop. That's halt." So everybody, please live in the moment. Now, I think is the word that Todd was saying earlier. And appreciate all that are around you. So just, if you could, I've always wanted to do this. Look at your neighbor and say, thank you. I appreciate you. Woo, it took me 50 years before I was able to do that. That was a point of personal privilege and also giving me an opportunity to catch my breath to continue this program. So thank you for helping me with that. Thank you. These members of our NFBPA family are truly and will always be missed. Now, to explain the history and significance of the Hall of Fame ceremony, I'd like to invite to the stage Virginia Baker, County Administrator of Palm Beach County, Florida, and Chair of the NFBPA Awards Committee. As certified financial manager, I know she's my auntie too, but let me do my job real quick. A certified financial manager, Virginia was appointed to the county administration in 2015. Throughout Virginia's career, she has demonstrated the ability to collaborate with strategic partners to enhance the quality of life for residents and businesses. She has also been a fierce advocate of NFBPA and served as its president 2013 to 2015. Virginia, thank you, and please come forth to present this coveted award.
Good morning, NFBPA. All right, yes, we're awake. We're not going to miss any opportunity, as we heard from our previous speaker, Todd, now. So I'm going to live by that. I've attempted to do it in the past, but I'm going to do it. So I'm going to challenge each and every one of you to live by now. No opportunity wasted. And that means as we pass each other in the hallway, we say hello, we smile, we talk to people we've never seen before. And for our first timers, this is a family. And I was very, very young, for you that will try to count, when I joined NFBPA. At the time, I worked for Floyd T. Johnson. He was the county administrator for Broward County. He and along with Cy Murray and others. Cy, are you here this morning? They decided to form NFBPA. I was working for Mr. Johnson right out of college, grad school, and he said, Virginia, I want you over at the conference center. And that's how I began with NFBPA. And I contribute my success to hard work and the mentors of NFBPA. So for people that need love and support, this is your family. NFBPA is a family, as you saw before. So I'm gonna get through this before I lose it. I've actually worked with Bruce, Marty, and Bill throughout my entire 40+ years with NFBPA, and it was a blessing. So again, thank you. I am trying to make sure I've got my right speaking points here. I have the pleasure of recognizing Colonel Jeffrey Glover. Okay. Thank you very much. Wanted to make sure I was on the right page. I could hear Bruce in the back saying, what do you mean you're not on the right page? Absolutely. He was my co-chair for the awards committee. Governor Katie Hobbs appointed Colonel Jeffrey D. Glover as director of the Arizona Department of Public Safety on January 17, 2023. Colonel Glover began his career with the Tempe Police Department and has over 25 years of law enforcement experience. He worked his way through the ranks, serving the Tempe Police Department in a variety of capacities. Colonel Glover worked as a field training officer, narcotics detective, crime prevention detective, media relations sergeant, patrol lieutenant, mobile field force commander, detention manager, acting commander over 21st Century Policing, professional standards commander, commander over both criminal and special investigations divisions, to include homicide, narcotics, and the SWAT team. In February of 2020, Colonel Glover retired from the Tempe Police Department with more than 20 years of service. He returned to Tempe Police Department later that year as the interim chief of police and was appointed as permanent chief of police in August of 21. Colonel Glover places an emphasis on community involvement and education and provides instructions on various topics, including leadership, ethics, and professionalism, team dynamics, fair and impartial policing, health and wellness, and safety through communications training. Colonel Glover is currently the National First Vice President of the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, NOBLE. He is a national board member for the Mothers Against Drunk Driving and is the co-chair of MAD, Traffic Safety Committee. Colonel Glover also serves on the board of directors for the International Association of Chiefs of Police. Additionally, Colonel Glover serves as a commissioner on the Governor's Commission for African American Affairs. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Education from Northern Arizona University, as well as a Master's of Public Administration through the University of Phoenix. Colonel Glover is a graduate of the Arizona Peace Officers and Standards Arizona Leadership Program, the FBI National Academy, Command School Session 265, and the Senior Management Institute for Policing Session 86. He has also earned certificates from the University of Arizona, Eller School in Government Leadership, and Cornell University. And inclusion. I'd like to welcome Colonel to the stage. This is a bad brother.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. I almost felt like saying, man, who is that guy? I just want to thank the NFBPA, their leadership team, the executive committee, and the awards committee. It's truly an honor to be recognized for my career accomplishments. There's a lot of work that goes into shattering barriers and glass ceilings. And many times, there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into that. So first, I have to thank God for getting me through a lot of tough times and my family. I definitely have to most notably talk about my wife for her support. She is an incredible woman, Dr. Tracy Wooten Glover, a very successful Black woman in her own right. And so I want to make sure that she's acknowledged, even though she wasn't able to be here today. I also want to thank my family and many of the mentors that have poured into me and provided a lot of insight and guidance into me throughout my career. Most notably, also, I want to thank Noble for a lot of their guidance and just the way that they have been able to really pour into me and my career over the many years that I've been with the organization. It's very important for our organizations to be able to work together between Noble and NFBPA because it's vitally important for us to be able to work and educate and assist those in development of their careers. It is also important for us to continue working together to really support and empower each other to reach for excellence. One of the most important aspects of my career in public safety has been really about developing others, mentoring and guiding people to get to where they want to go. Being able to lift people up and bring about their fruitions and what they want in their careers is really important. And it's important for us to be able to reach back to those that look like us, to be able to lift them up and to help them develop their careers to get them to where they need to be. And that is really the essence of being able to make things truly diverse in our workplace. And so thank you, and God bless.
I'm sorry, one more time.
Okay.
Thank you and congratulations, Colonel Glover. We salute you once again. So in addition to now being a part of the NFBPA legacy, Colonel Glover is also a proud member of the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, or NOBLE. We are honored to have Rodney Bryant, National President of NOBLE, with us today. This more than 15-year member of NOBLE served as the Chief of the Atlanta Police Department, retiring in 2022 as the 25th Chief of the Department. NFBPA, please welcome Chief Rodney Bryant to the podium.
Good morning.
This is a difficult position to be in after following my frat brother Ben Crump, learning that I can't drink water, listening to tributes of legends, and then finding out that the second VP is a superhero. I bring you greetings from the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives. We are a membership of over 4,000 plus police executive leaders throughout our country. And then we are so honored to be here today to participate in your organization's celebration as well. And I'm changing my speech a bit because Jeff and Ben Crump brought some things to light. It is so vitally important that our two organizations bond together because we are finding ourselves in a very unique time. As we are being challenged every single day, there are so many of us that don't have the level of platform that we have. So we have to do our bit, be bold about our actions, be intentional about what we do, and be very deliberate as we execute. We have an obligation to serve those that doesn't have the level that we have. We have an obligation to do it. We cannot fail them. There have been so many people that have come before us that couldn't do anything but dream that we would be in this position. Now we have to live out that dream. Thank you so much for allowing Noble to partner with your wonderful organization.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chief Bryant. We so appreciate you traveling to be with us today. Too bad we didn't get you to speak on 4-4, right? Atlanta. We would now like to welcome a handful of our partners to the stage. First will be Ms. Andrea Bailey, Prince William County, Virginia Board of Supervisors, Potomac District. Following her, you'll hear briefly from our sponsors at Google and AFLAC, as well as the presentation of the AFLAC Graduate Scholarship. Please join me in welcoming these exceptional partners. Ms. Bailey.
Well, good morning. Oh, we've had breakfast. We're feeling good. Look, everybody came up here with their cute little phones and their readers, and I came up with my manila folder. It still works for me. It still works for me. I want to first to say thank you so much for this wonderful, wonderful opportunity to come before you. I have just been overjoyed and winsomely, if that's a word, I've just been overjoyed and just twirled in a circle with the excellence that's in this room. And so I want to say to my dear friend, your president-elect, you are beautifully and wondrously made. And to the wonderful visionaries in this room, you are beautifully and wondrously made. And we cannot, Mr. Crump said, we cannot miss the opportunity to continue the sense of excellence that we have in this room. We can't miss it. And so I come to you this morning, yes, thank you, Mr. Crump. And just taking a point of privilege, I just wanted to thank Mr. Crump. When I met you, it was in this organization, at the National Harbor. You came in and we had a moment, and I was running for office and I was scared, I was green. You said, you're gonna win. And so now I'm back here with you and I feel like I'm gonna win something else too. So it gives me pleasure and honor to come from Prince William County, Virginia. I bring you our prayers and our thoughts for the unfortunate incident that just happened at the Key Bridge. We love you. We are praying for you. I want you to know that, Baltimore. We're right next door. I met your president-elect in a restaurant where we were having dinner. I was having a political dinner. She was having a family dinner. And I looked at her. I said, "Oh, she's a powerful sister." And I met her. I knew her friends. And we found out that we had two things in common: the Lord. Amen. And come on, we Black. We can say amen. And a prince called Chris Shorter. Anybody know Chris Shorter? I know we stole him from y'all, but it's okay. It's okay. And so I want to say to my sister, who is the first, I am a first as well. And so being the first, sometimes people have to make a pathway for us to be the first. And so we carry a great mantle on our shoulders as we are the first. And so I honor you in being the first. I bring you warm greetings to this extraordinary, to the extraordinary visionaries that are in this room, to my exceptional, gifted, and astute colleagues that are in this room, to the illustrious guests that are in this room, and the devoted and intentional business partners that are in this room. It gives me great pleasure to offer a warm welcome and greetings to you while attending this wonderful, extraordinary organization called the National Foundation of Black Public Administrators in this wonderful, excellent place, in your annual place, Hall of Fame breakfast. And the breakfast was good, y'all. It was good. Your dedication to our country, your intentional servanthood to our communities, your strong transformational leadership to this wonderful organization, and your strategic fellowship in this place only exemplifies your love for our people, but your love for all people. By your presence in this room, you are determined to make the world a more wholesome, holistic, peaceful, equitable, sustainable, and progressive environment to live, work, and thrive in. We must thrive in this world. This is the template for a staple Hall of Fame endowment, as you've presented. And so I greet you in humility. I welcome you all with the honor of your great dedication to frame the future for the next generation. Breathe in your passion, breathe out your excellence. Thank you.
That's my purpose. Wherever my feet are, that's what I'm called to do. And I'm going to do it.
You're doing it, brother.
Well, with the help of all of this, you don't understand how much this relationship has blessed me.
Speak on it.
Because just the visual aspect of it, being visual, then you put me on camera with probably the best college football coach that will ever walk the earth. You paired me with him and he validated me. When he said, Coach Bryant, that validated me. That made people say, he's a coach. He ain't just a thing, he's a coach. It validated me. Then you brought the culture in with the band. and our people, and all of that just made the whole world say, okay, so that's what he does for the HBCU thing. Then they start thinking, then the band, the Aflac is Jackson State Band's colors. So it just was what you all did and what God did was unbelievable, unbelievable. And it's not ironic that I'm receipt coach of the year. We won, but all that exposure helped us help Jackson State become what we are right now and what we're gaining. So I think, Aflac, I thank you for the vision. When I got on that set, I called, baby, baby. Do you understand this? Oh, no, it was baby. And I'm so thankful and appreciative for this relationship. You have no idea. And it has blessed me tremendously. And I thank you. I thank you.
All right, let's give Aflac a round of applause. So I want to just really quickly, before we have Dexter Harris join us on the stage, there's two things. Number one, I do take instruction and criticism and feedback very well. I was misread, or it was misstated either way. Mark Elrich, who spoke earlier, is actually the county executive, not the county administrator, so apologies for my misstep on that one. I also want to remind everybody that we do have a keynote speaker who is coming right after this presentation. This gentleman has made keynote presentations at over 50, I think, this year alone, so you don't want to miss it. So before that, I will introduce Dexter Harris.
That's code for pick it up. They started with the music. As a little brief reminder, they'll play it. Real quick, so I've had a chance to be here with you over the last 3 days. First off, I want to say thank you to the NFBPA team. For me, I get replenished. I'll just leave it at that. I had a lot of remarks around it, but Marcia and all the past presidents and the members, Justine, Todd, I can't tell you enough how this replenishes me. Mr. Crump, I've had a chance to follow you since I was, we won't go there. I'll be 48. I've had a chance to follow you, and I got a lot of thoughts around that, but out of sake of time, both my parents are passed away. They're in Atlanta, Georgia, now in heaven, and my dad used to say, no matter the team or the gender of the team that you will one day lead, you're gonna have to handle topics that are as tough as putting cotton socks on a chicken. Think about that a second. Think about it a second. Dee, you heard me say it. That young lady helps in marketing, and I promise you, she's not the many around the table. And when those sticky topics come out, I just always ask why. I'm getting older, so now I'm getting a little bit louder, and Todd says, hold on. But if it doesn't make sense, you just know right here. And last, I'm gonna connect a dot to the police chief, Mr. Bryant. I tell you this every single time I see you. This man was patrolling the streets, working in the streets of Atlanta, and I am telling y'all, as the God above would have it, as a teenager running around in the streets, I've seen the man in situations where it could have went horrible. But instead, he's using skills to make sure that when you see me, you hear me first, or you listen to me first. So, Dwayne, if I can do anything with the Aflac power to help bring Aflac to the table, the reason we pulled that commercial because Dion has been a vessel to help. So let's bring it together. Now I'm gonna get ready to turn this over for our last scholarship to Murtaza. And let me tell you, Murtaza Shuab is an international student. And he has big dreams and big goals.
and I had a chance to listen to him, so it makes total sense why we chose our third person with a 3.75 grade average out of Pace University, New York, to receive this scholarship. But as I told you, Murtaza, you're walking into a place where you have to be clear with what you want. And there's a lot of people that'll help you, but you gotta tell them what you want. So come on up, give a couple comments around, your vision to be in the healthcare administration, in public sector, and in the policy making for social justice. And as he does it, I want to remind you guys, we do have a farm animal downstairs that you can take a picture with. That Aflac duck is in the building. Yes. The little blue cards on your table will tell you a little bit more about that journey. But thank you, I really mean it. Thank you for supporting us at Aflac. Stay on them. Stay on them. In this time we're about to be in, stay on them. They're ready to lead the way, but they need your support, knowing if they do it, you got their back. Come on up, Murtaza.
Good morning, everyone. I am an international student. I've been in the United States for about 2 years now, and I want to tell you that this is the first time I feel like home. Thank you very much, NFBPA, for making me a part of the family. It is with immense gratitude and humility that I stand before you today to express my heartfelt appreciation for being honored to be invited on this prestigious occasion. I want to describe the significance and impact of the scholarship by telling you a little bit about myself. I come from Pakistan, from a very small town. My father is a farmer who's done relentless efforts to provide for his family, never bought a nice car, house, or any luxury item, but spent all of his life savings to help me and my siblings attain the most precious thing, quality education. So it is no less than a dream for someone like me to stand here among all these smart, brilliant, and incredibly generous people and be heard. People like me may come with small money, but we come with big goals and big dreams. So this is not just a personal achievement for me. It is a testament of unwavering support that I have received from this forum. This opens doors to the opportunities that would have otherwise remained beyond my reach. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to the donors, NFBPA program, Aflac, and the faculty of my school for their definite faith in my potential and belief in the power of education. As I embark on this journey, I'm filled with a profound sense of responsibility and honor, and I am assertive that I will succeed, thrive, and make a positive impact. And to my parents, I know you're sitting out there somewhere in a small town in Pakistan, thousands of miles away, hoping and praying that your son makes it. I want to tell you that I dedicate this and all the awards that are waiting for me in the future to the two of you. And I want to tell you that with the grace of God, your prayers, and incredible support of all these people, I will make you proud. Thank you very much.
All right, hang in here, hang in here. Our next keynote, it's going to be an exciting ride, but I'm going to give you every piece of it, so give me a second, okay? Anton Gunn is recognized for his extensive work as a former senior advisor to President Barack Obama. That should tell you something. A prominent healthcare executive, and he's a leading expert in socially conscious leadership. Anton has a passion for making positive changes that impact others. He was the first African American in history elected to the South Carolina legislature for his district, and it was early in his career, breaking through barriers and teaching others to create influence and impact in their own lives. Anton is a graduate of University of South Carolina, go SEC. He's also earned a master's degree in social work from USC and is a resident fellow at Harvard. He is the best-selling author of Just Lead, The Audacity of Leadership, and The Presidential Principles. And he's been featured in Time Magazine, The Wall Street Journal, Inc. Magazine, BBC, NPR, on Good Morning America. Anton was also named one of the 10 most influential minority executives in healthcare by Fierce Healthcare. An international keynote speaker, management consultant, and CEO of 1937 Strategy Group, he has worked with renowned organizations like Mercedes-Benz, KPMG, Rock Ventures, Sodexo, Verizon Wireless, T-Mobile, American Organization of Nurse Leaders, Emory Healthcare, Blue Shield of California, now that's a doozy, and the Boeing Company. Anton is a certified speaking professional, and designation, of course, he's earned at the top echelon of professional speakers and held by fewer than more than 10% of people. So, Anton has spent most of his life, as you can see, building diverse opportunities and high-performing teams and a world-class workplace of cultures. And he's currently serving on multiple boards. Please help me bring up Mr. Anton Gunn.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I'm going to make sure I get us out of here as quickly as possible, but I got one thing I'm going to say before I really get started, and that round of applause y'all gave me was worse than the Carolina Panthers defense, okay? So stop. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this again. I'm going to walk off stage, and I'm going to introduce myself again. And when I come back, I'm gonna need a better round of applause. And you know what kind of applause I really want? I want you to pretend that your favorite football team of all time just won the Super Bowl, okay? And they gave you $5,000 and 4 first-class tickets to celebrate with them at Disneyland. Now, everybody like Disneyland, right? Okay? But not only that, when you got your tickets in the mail and that $5,000 check cleared the bank and you got in your car to go to the airport, as you turned on the radio, your favorite song of all time came on the radio. And I'm not talking about any song, I'm talking about the song that makes you want to get up and dance. Now, I'm from South Carolina, but I grew up in Virginia, and I'm a classic old school hip hop kid. So if it was my favorite song, it would be Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock, It Takes Two, okay? So when I come back to the stage, I'm gonna need some energy, like you got your tickets, your cash, we on our way to the Super Bowl, and we jamming in the car. Everybody get that? Okay, so I'm gonna walk off stage. I'm gonna go back to my seat. I'm gonna sit down. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, all the way from Columbia, South Carolina. His name is Anton Gunn. Please get him up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. 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 Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. I want to see who know the words. Let me see who know the words. You know the words? listen. Here we go. Hey! Now we ready? Now we ready? All right. I appreciate y'all. There you go. Go ahead, shout. Get your shout on, girl. Get your shout on. I just want you to know it's okay to get your shout on when I'm in the room, okay? It's a pleasure for me to be here with you. My name is Anton Gunn. And I know some of y'all are like, who is that fool that they done brought up on stage? But I want to share a little bit more about who I am. Not only am I an author and a speaker, but more importantly, I'm a husband, I'm a father, and I'm a newt. All the newts in the house say, yo. See, we everywhere at the same time. I also want to share a little bit. I got some great words that I want to give to you that tie right into all of the leadership that we've heard about here today, the impact that we've heard about here today. So if you want to learn something, you're going to learn something. If you want to be inspired, you're going to be inspired. But before I do that, I want to make sure you understand who I am, because if you understand a person and a leader where they come from, it'll help you to understand where they're trying to take you. And that's the most important point in public service, is knowing the leaders where they come from and where they're taking us. So I always like to start with some photos. This is the first photo. Now, my mama can't stand it when I show people this picture. Now, all the ladies in here know why that my mama can't stand it. And that's my dad, Lou, on the left. That's my mom on the right, and that's me in the middle with my long johns on. Now, my dad was a retired Navy man, 22 years in the Navy. He went and worked for the VA, the federal government, for another 15 years after that, and then fully retired. And my mom was a teacher, public school teacher, became a principal, and retired as a principal. Now, this house that we're in is not a house, it's an apartment, a one-bedroom apartment on Scott Street in Norfolk, Virginia, my hometown. And when this photo was taken, we didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have a lot of resources. We had love and support of each other, but it was just the three of us in this one-bedroom apartment. And nobody in this photo would have believed that some 40 years later, everybody in this photo can say they have met 5 presidents of the United States of America. Not just one, but 5. So I always show this photo to the audience because I want to remind you all of the most important thing the greatest philosopher in my life have said about this. His name is Rakim. And he says, it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. And where we are, we all come from a place that's smaller in our minds and our experiences than where we are right now. And that's a testament to our commitment to growth and development, but more importantly, our tenacity to always thrive no matter what adversity gets thrown at us. We all dealing with a lot of adversity right now, and that's why we know how to thrive. Now, second picture I want to show you is this picture. This is me and my 3 brothers. See, I knew I was a leader because I was first born in the family. And raise your hand in here if you're first born in your family. Look around, y'all. These are all the supreme leaders in this room, the greatest people in the world. Okay? All right, second group of people. If you're the baby, raise your hand. Look around, y'all. The most selfish, spoiled people you ever seen in your life. They swear the world revolves around them. Terrible. Okay. Now, for everybody in the middle, raise your hand if you're in the middle. Look around, y'all. These people just confused. They don't know whether they're going or coming. They don't know whether you're going or coming. So I'm the oldest of 4 boys. On the left is my brother Sharon. He was second born after me. In the middle are the twins, Jason and Jamal. They're the ones with the Care Bear pajamas on their outfit right now. But I like to show this photo, one, to acknowledge that my brothers and my family mean everything to me. They're everything to me, and I'm so grateful to be the oldest of those 4 boys. Now, I show this picture for another reason. I'm just going to point out the obvious. I had to zoom out of it so y'all can really see it. First thing I want you to know is my knees are ashy. But it don't matter because I went from ashy to classy. So I always point out my matching shirt too. So like, I'm a matchy kind of dude. And so I got the ashy knees, I got the matching shirt, and you see it match my socks. And the reason why I want y'all to see them socks, because they're my football socks. Like when I first started playing football, football is everything in my life. And so when we played football, played for a team called the Neptunes. Pharrell named his group after, he's from the same hometown, right? The Neptunes, we went undefeated. And so when we went undefeated, those socks became my lucky socks. And when I wear them, I know I'm gonna have a good day. And I got on my lucky socks right now. So I don't take them off, okay? All right, let me keep it moving. I wanna tell y'all about a date. April 1st, 2014. I was standing at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in the Rose Garden of the White House. The sun was shining, the flowers were starting to bloom. I could smell the fresh cut grass all around me. I could hear the laughter of my colleagues who were all just living it up. It was a great day. Then all of a sudden, the most thunderous applause I've ever heard in my life erupted. As President Obama walked out of the Oval Office, he came down the West Wing colonnade into the Rose Garden right in front of us. And this is a photo on that day. And he came to the podium to give us some remarks about something that we all knew was coming, that we knew it had happened. And that was, we had helped 7 million Americans enroll in coverage under the Affordable Care Act. And so we was giving a speech about something about how everything was now all right. Everything was great. But it had been wrong. Because if y'all remember, a few months before this is when healthcare.gov crashed. The government shut down. It was a bunch of bad stuff. There's so much adversity against us. But we never quit. And we stayed focused. And so I was standing there in that Rose Garden, admiring the man, admiring the moment, and admiring all the adversity we had overcome. That we were able to do what people thought was impossible, that you cannot provide health care coverage to 7 million Americans. Well, today, there are 45 million people covered under the Affordable Care Act. So I'm grateful that I can have the admiration of a leader who knew how to stay the course and stay committed and deal with every ounce of adversity and make things right. But I stood there thinking, how did things get so right after being so wrong for so long? And when I say wrong, I'm talking wrong. I mean, like, more wrong than leaving Chick-fil-A with a bag of cold waffle fries kind of wrong. Wouldn't it be wrong to leave with some cold fries? Because I want to take you to another date, 10 years before this day, April 1st, 2004. See, this is the day everything went wrong in my life. My wife and I had just learned that we were going to become parents for the very first time. That we were pregnant, we went to our second prenatal visit, and the doctor told us, you're going to have a baby girl. You can go and tell all your family, tell everybody that you know that you're having a baby girl. And I was so excited, but I was a little bit fear and trepidation as a first-time parent. You know, you got a little bit of fear. But I was excited till I walked out of the exam room and went to the desk to check out. And the nurse said, Mr. Gunn, can I see you for a minute? I said, yeah, you can see me. What's the deal? She said, well, we tried to run your insurance for this prenatal visit, but Blue Cross ain't covering it. I said, what you talking about? I know I got health insurance coverage. She said, well, all I know is that they ain't paying the bill, so you need to go take that up with them. You owe us $957. And at the time, I couldn't afford $9.50, much less $957. And what I would learn shortly thereafter is that because I made a simple mistake on the application, we were denied maternity coverage. And it cost us $17,734.53 out of pocket to pay for the birth and delivery of a healthy baby girl. Now, I'll never forget when they told me that I was denied, I went down to the Blue Cross and Blue Shield headquarters, and I wanted to meet with somebody to find out what did I do. What's wrong? I knew I wouldn't be married and not have maternity coverage. Well, they showed me that I made a simple mistake on the application. See, on the first page, as I was the primary provider, I signed, filled in my name. I didn't have no the benefits division where I worked. They worked at a small business, real small business. So I filled everything out on the application, checked the box for everything, flipped it over on page 2, filled out my wife's information, turned it in. I checked the box of maternity on the first page, but not on the second page. So I had maternity coverage, but my wife didn't. Literally. Now, last time I checked, I ain't having no babies. So you knew what I was trying to do. So I came home to my wife, I said, babe, I got some bad news. She said, what, babe? I said, I made a mistake on the application. We don't have no maternity coverage. What is we gonna do? And my wife turned and looked at me with a straight face and she said, I don't know what we're gonna do, but you better figure it out before this baby come. And I ended up waiting 3.5 years before my daughter, she was 3.5 years old before we paid off all those medical bills. But in the moment that I was dealing with that situation, you know what I felt? I felt a massive burden of what I call unfairness. That they knew what I was trying to do. I made a simple mistake, but they chose to leave it broken and unfair. It hurt me. That burden of unfairness hurt me. Now, all of you in the public sector, I know you understand what unfairness feels like. So much can feel unfair to you, unfair to everybody. How many constituents or residents in your communities come to you because they feel like something is unfair? And when they come to you unfair, you probably are hearing what I wanted to hear from this woman when I talked to her, as I said to her, why can't you just make this right? Can't you just make this right? Everybody say, make it right for me. Make it right. See, this is what I want you to understand is that term, make it right, is a mantra that I believe that more of us need to own when things go wrong. Because it's always gonna go wrong and it's gonna feel unfair to people. And what we want from our leaders is when they see wrong and understand wrong, is to not make it worse, but to do something to make it right. Now, I'm gonna put a few things on the screen because I know in some of your roles, you experience some level of unfairness as employees in the public sector. So when I say these out, if you agree with any of them, I want you to say, uh-huh. Okay, so let's practice it. Everybody say, uh-huh. So if you hear something or see something on the screen that I call out that is similar to what you experienced, I want you to say, okay. How about feeling excluded from decision making? What about leadership turnover and transitions? What about having to do more with less? Oh man, that was a big one. What about the great resignation? Everybody losing talent. So these things feel unfair to all of us. It leads to low morale, low engagement, lack of trust, and absenteeism. You know what I mean when I say absenteeism? People ain't really sick. They just sick of y'all. So they literally take days off and don't come to work because they're sick of y'all. So this unfairness is significant in a lot of organizations. And so I tell leaders to make it right. Everybody say, make it right. I want you to understand something, that as a leader, it's your greatest responsibility every day to be like Bill, to be like Bruce. You want to be a leader who makes it right. You want to be like every person who came up on this stage and was honored because they spent their entire lives and their careers focused on making it right. You want to be a leader who makes it right. Now, sometimes it gets hard to make it right because you don't really know how to make it right. At least a lot of the organizations that I work with struggle with making it right. And I've worked with plenty of private sector companies and public sector companies where leaders are stymied by different challenges that their employees experience and they don't know how to make it right. So I want to break it down for you. Now, if you're in a leadership position anywhere in the world, I want you to know the most important thing that you can listen to right now is what I'm about to tell you. Because every leader is struggling with the challenges that employees deal with in the workplace. They're struggling with them. And they have no idea how to make it right. But I want you to know, if you don't pay attention to anything else that I say for the next few minutes that I'm here, I want you to pay attention to the 3 fundamental questions that every employee, every person is asking that leaders fail to answer consistently. But if you figure out how to answer these 3 questions, you will not only make it right, you will become the most admired leader, the most admired executive that anybody has ever seen. So I'm gonna break it down for you. Question number 1 is, do you care about me? Question number 2 is, will you help me? Question number 3 is, can I trust you? Now I want you to know that these 3 questions are the questions that everybody asks every single day when they come into your presence. Do you care about me? Will you help me to be successful? And can I trust you? But guess what, y'all? They're sick of hearing your words. Because you say yes to those 3 questions. Every boss you've ever worked for stands up and says, we care about our people. We're helping them to be successful and that you can trust us. But they don't want to hear your words. They want to see it in your actions. They want to see how you show them that you care, how you're willing to help them to be successful, and that they can trust you. So I'm going to give you a short framework on how you can make it right by answering these 3 questions every day. Now I'm going to lay out some leadership questions because I know every leader wants to know, how can I increase my influence? How can I increase my impact? How do I demonstrate excellence in service and strength in leadership? And more importantly, how do I answer the 3 questions? And if you want notes on this, don't worry, I'm gonna give you a way to get all of my notes. Some of y'all typing fast and furious like you my 5th grader typing on a notepad. That's okay. Don't do it right now. I'm gonna give you a QR code and it'll give you a chance to get the notes from all of my presentations, and I'm going to equip you with some gifts. I'm gonna give you a free leadership toolkit that I think will be helpful to every leader in this room and other people that you want. Just stick with me for a second. So let's talk about it, make it right. Everybody say make it right. Make it right. First one, simple and foremost, this is what I call Just Lead, to be the leader that everyone will admire. That's the name of this program. It's all tied into my book, Just Lead. I don't have copies here, wasn't able to get them here, but it's all right, you can find them online and get them. It's a short read. You can put it in your pocket and read it in less than an hour, but it will give you action-packed strategies on how you retain your top talent, build a culture that nobody wants to quit, and you become a leader that everybody will admire. But I'm gonna give you the Cliff Notes version right now. So number 1 is serve. Everybody say serve. Now this is obvious to you all because everyone in this room is a public servant and serving right now. But I want to give you a deeper concept of what I mean when I say serve. Everybody knows the good book says the greatest amongst you will be your servant. Dr. King has also said that anybody can be great because everyone can serve. But so many people forget that their role is to serve. So I want to share with you what service looks like. I want you to know that you have to get to know the people that you lead. Because you can't show anybody that you care about them if you don't know them. You can pretend to care about them, but if you don't know them, you can't show them that you care. So what's their birthday, their favorite color, their children's names, their favorite sport? Like literally, I had a leader one time come into the office and bring everybody coffee mugs. Coffee mugs that were a particular color because he went to a school that had these colors. They were orange and purple. And the worst thing you can do to a former Gamecock football player and a Kappa Alpha Psi member is to bring me something orange and purple. I kicked that mug so far out the office it didn't make no sense. But what he showed me is that he didn't care about me because you didn't even know that I was a noob. You didn't even care to know that I played football at the University of South Carolina. So everyday leaders make mistakes by doing things that show people that they don't care about them because they don't take time to know them. The second line on this is to simply solve their problems so they can serve other people. What everybody wants of a leader is to take the problems out of the way so I can be the best that I can be to do my job. I don't need you to manage my time. I don't need you to tell me when to go to lunch and when to come home. Just make sure I got the tools and the resources that I need so I can do my job. These are the challenges that we deal with because so many people are under-resourced at this present. So if you do these two things, I am confident that people will see you as a servant and the greatest amongst you. Everybody say serve. The second one is empower. Now, when I say empower, I want to frame it to you this way. I'm not talking about power in the 50 Cent universe, even though Raising Kanan might be the greatest show I ever watched. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted now. Let me stay on message. Okay, this is what I want you to understand. People need you to be a mentor and not a manager. People need mentorship. We got some young leaders in this room who are desperately seeking mentorship. And what we need are more mentors. It's how we rebuild and replenish and re-strengthen the future of our organizations is by mentorship. Help them guide people along the path. My greatest mentor is a woman named Lenora Bush Reese, who changed and transformed my life. And I will never forget it that she hired me when nobody else would give me a chance. 18 months without a job, and she gave me a chance. And the first thing that she asked me is, Anton, what do you want to do when you grow up? I said, well, I just got here. She was like, I don't care about you getting here. I want to know what you want to be doing 25 years from now, because my job is to help you to get there. Then she came into work one day and she brought me a job description. I had been on the job 11 months. She brought me a job description and says, here, you need to apply for this job. And it was at another organization. I was like, am I doing that bad that you trying to get rid of me? She says, no, I can't afford to pay you what you deserve to be paid, and I want you to apply for this job. I'm gonna help you to get it, and I'm gonna mentor you in it. And that was 1997, and Lenora Reese is still mentoring me today because she was much more than a manager. Not only that, she spent her time helping me to be good at life and not just good at my job. And the husband and the father that I am today is because of what Lenora invested in me when I was in my early 20s. So if you really want to take it to the next level and be a legacy-driven leader, then you got to learn how to empower people. Everybody say empower. I'm almost done, y'all. The last one is lead. Now, this is an easy word. It's 4 letters. All of us have heard it 1,000 times. We use it so many times. We need them to lead on this. We need them to do this. Let me give you my framework of what lead looks like. Lead is admitting that your organization has some faults and some failures, because there's no perfect organization. And the moment you stand up and try to pretend to people that this is the best organization to ever work for on planet Earth, everybody and their grandmama know you lying, because they can type it in Google in 2 minutes and find somebody who's throwing shade on everything that you've ever done or somebody that work on your team. And the easiest thing to do is just admit that we ain't perfect, but we're striving to be more perfect every day, and that's why we need you as a part of this team. Admit that you got some faults and failures, but most importantly, be a leader that's committed to do something about them to make them right every day. Now, everybody say lead. Okay, I'm closing here. Now, I want to tell y'all the rest of my White House story. Is that I was standing at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in the Rose Garden. We did that great event. When the event was over, somebody tapped me on my shoulder and said, we need you to stay behind. I was like, stay behind? I thought I was in trouble, like get ready to get called to the principal's office. Well, they walked me in to the Oval Office where we took this photo. Now, what I want you to understand, this photo was where the president, right before it was taken, said to me, Anton, thank you for the work that you're doing on the Affordable Care Act. Now, I was one of 4,000 appointees, several hundred at HHS, and I wasn't even the highest on the totem pole. But I was the one that got walked into the Oval Office to take a thank you picture for what I did on the ACA. And I said, Mr. President, I'm just doing my part like everybody else. We got to make this work. He says, no, I see what you're doing. Every person that works in an organization wants a leader that says, I see what you're doing. And they want somebody to say thank you. This is the most important photograph of my professional career. And when we were done taking the photo, the president said something else to me that really shifted my mind and grounded me into why this is a Hall of Fame awards program. And I want to share that with you. He said, Anton, what we're doing here today will matter to people who are born after we die. And that's when it hit me like a ton of bricks. What your role as a leader is all about. And it's one word, and that word is legacy. Now, Miles Monroe has an amazing quote about legacy. It's one that I repeat over and over again because I think it's really significant, and that is, success without a successor is a failure. That if you don't use your gifts, your talents, your time, and where you are right now to leave a place better than you found it, you might be successful, but you will never be significant. And we need to stop chasing success and only chase significance. Because when you do, success will be an automatic byproduct of you being significant in the lives of people. So I say to everybody, remember, don't be successful, just be significant. If you're a leader who makes it right, you only know how to be significant. Okay? So I'm closing here, and I want to give y'all one last story. I'm going to take you back to my mom. My mama hated hip-hop music. And when I mean I'm a hip-hop kid through and through, I mean my mom hated it, so she was a more earth, wind, and fire kind of woman, okay? She hated hip-hop. So I'll never forget, I was playing Run DMC's Raising Hell album loud on my dad's PV speakers, Kenwood amp turned up, and my mom came in the house from school after some PTA meetings, and she was hot. And she scratched the record off, and she broke it in half and said, "Stop playing that noise in my house." And she would do that with me and my brothers because she didn't like it when we played loud music. She didn't like it when we wrestled and fight. I remember one time, my brothers and I would wrestle and fight. We knocked a hole in the wall, and we put a Michael Jordan poster over it so my mama would never see it. But when she would catch us fighting, she would come in the house and say, "Y'all need to stop all of that stuff. You need to stop all that fighting and knocking stuff around because I'm the mama and I got the power." And I was like, "You got the power?" See, she had fell in love with this hip-hop song called I Got the Power. Y'all ever heard that song? Okay. So she would walk around the house saying, "I got the power. I got the power." So as I take my seat, I want you all to know that you have the power. You have the power to make it right in your hand and be a legacy-driven leader. So in honor of my mama, as I take my seat, I need everybody to say, "I got the power." Okay, y'all sound like the Carolina Panthers defense again, so we're gonna try that one more time. Say, "I got the power." Now I want you to know that you have the power to have a lasting impact in people's lives. My name is Anton Gunn. It is my pleasure and my privilege to be with you all here today. Please stay in touch and connect with me. I'd be happy to help you and your organization to grow. Now, hold on that screen and know that you need to get up and show that you got the power. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Let's give him another round of applause. Good morning, NFBPA. My name is Delane Galloway, and I serve as the town manager for the town of Cheverly, and I serve as the Maryland State President for NFBPA. It's a pleasure to have you all here today. I promise, for the interest of time, I'll be brief. But if you're enjoying yourself while you're at the conference, please make some noise and give me a round of applause. Special thanks to the local chapter and the conference planning committee for planning such of an enjoyable experience. I have a few announcements today. Today, lunch will be served in the Innovation Center beginning at 11:45 a.m. We have 3 amazing lunch and learns. One being hosted by Amazon, how to administer a social responsible government purchase program That will be held in Essex AB. Gallagher will be hosting a lunch and learn on the current market conditions, emerging risk, in room Dover C. And my fraternity brother, a man of Omega, Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Attorney Crump will be hosting From Awareness to Action, Protecting Your Community in Grand Ballroom 4. Today at 1 p.m., please join us in here in the Harborside Ballroom for the public policy event hosted by CNN analyst Ariva Martin. We're looking forward to that event, so please come out and show your support. An announcement for tonight, if you're registered for the All Chapters event, transportation will begin here at the Marriott at 8:45 p.m. Again, transportation will begin this evening at 8:45 p.m. for the Reginald Lewis Museum. That concludes my announcements. Please enjoy your time here. Please enjoy the workshops. Thank you for attending the Hall of Fame breakfast.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our main stage session. We ask you at this time to please exit the hall. We look forward to seeing you again later today. We would ask that you please vacate this room immediately as we prepare for our next session. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would ask that you please vacate this room immediately as we prepare for our next session.